G and Matty on Big G Country.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Big G and Matty.
Well, as we move along as far as this pandemic is concerned, I think we're sort of turning the corner a little bit with these vaccines. And we've got, 3, 4 different vaccines out there now. And if you get a chance to get that shot in the arm, take it, all right? It's going to be better for all of us involved. It'll make our community better, our city better. Our country will hopefully get back to some sort of normal before too long. Welcome aboard, everybody.
Yeah, lots of controversy about it, whether people are going to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine. They're talking about having a passport or not having a passport. I mean, I don't know where it's all going to end, but anything to get the borders open, get us moving again, get tourism back into Canada and helping us out. And all you business people, oh man, we feel for you that to get businesses open and operating. And you know what? We haven't said this before on the program, but I'm going to say it. Whatever you do, make sure your first choice for business is local, wherever you live in Canada. Smaller communities, the better. But even in a city where we live of 200,000 people, make sure you go and patronize your local businesses. And the reason, Matty, is because the local businesses are the ones that sponsor the local sports teams. They put in education money for kids in our area. The Boys and Girls Clubs across Canada, supported by local businesses. And, activities like golf tournaments and giving prizes and everything. That's why we need to support local business. I'm going to get off my soapbox here, but I think that we should really think about that.
I agree, 100%. Keep it local, my friends. Let's get back to business, so to speak. You mentioned sports, Biggie.
Yeah.
Now, you're a have-me-not fan. I'm a Maple Loaf fan.
Yeah.
So the hockey, as far as this Canadian division is concerned, I'm not sure what you think, but I'm getting a little tired of watching all these teams play each other 10, 12 times or whatever. It seems like they're playing the same team over and over and over again, although I shouldn't complain because at least we're seeing some hockey.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any sports for quite some time.
Yeah, can I say this? That one of my best friends, he called me up and he said, well, who are you watching tonight? And I said, I'm watching Toronto and Edmonton. And he said, well, how many times have you watched it? They're playing 3 games in a row. And you know what he said? I thought this was great. He said, you know what? I've been thinking about this. He said, did you ever think in your life we would have a professional NHL hockey house league? And you know what? That's about what it is. It's like a house league. These guys are playing each other 10 times this year, right?
Oh, I know.
I know. But you know what? It's hockey.
So the weather's changing, too. We're going to spring into spring as far as the show is concerned this week with Big G and Matty. And Jimmy the Janitor is going to join us. And I think it's almost time to start thinking about maybe family reunions because before you know it, bang. Summer's here, and we don't want to miss that, of course, because we want to be outside and enjoying this stuff.
There's one other thing I want to talk about, and that's the Blue Jays.
Oh.
Baseball season has now started, and, poor Blue Jays, they can't play in Canada. They're still playing in the States for I don't know how long. But, come on, what a team we got, the Toronto Blue Jays. And you know what? If things start to turn for the better, Matty and I, we're going to be taking a group of people down to the Blue Jay games like we did for several years, right?
Yeah, we enjoyed that, and so did the people that came along with us.
Yeah.
We get mentioned, we talk about it. We talk about it all the time. Well, it's just about that time. We've got a good ball team again, and we'll make that trip. It's called the Big G and Matty Blue Jay Adventure, and we'll let you know all the details soon right here on this show.
We certainly will, and on our podcast. All right, well, it's time for us to have a little entertainment on the program. So why don't we take a visit to our good buddy, Jimmy the Janitor.
All right.
Hey, Big G and Matthews, how you doing, boys? Guse went to his wife Joanne's family reunion last week. I got one coming up this long holiday weekend north of 7 near Denby at the trailer park at my Uncle Jeb's place. Well, last year we had to hold it at a rest stop. We were having a great time till the cops showed up and told us to stop firing guns. I love you guys. I tell you, I love you guys.
Well, I hope you have a great time at your reunion this weekend. They're always fun, and you get to see a lot of friends and family, and that's kind of a nice thing. So what if we decide to show up at your reunion? How do we find you up there in Denby?
No problem, I tell you. Just look for the trailer that says wide load on the back. Uncle Jeb's house has got more miles on it than his car.
Well, gotta tell you, Jimmy, my favorite part of the family reunion every year is sampling all the food.
Oh, yeah, this year my favorite cousin, Beaver, is going to be there. Yeah, he just got out and he's hankering for some real home-cooked food. He can't wait to get his mouth to a sardine on a saltine cracker or some pickled pig's feet. Oh, what a crowd, I tell you, what a crowd.
Well, that's quite a name for a guy, Jimmy. Why do they call him Beaver?
Well, it's because he's always gnawing on something. I mean, he'll chew on anything. He's going to slow down on the chow, though. He's up to 350 pounds. His cereal bowl comes with a lifeguard. No respect, I tell you, no respect at all.
Well, okay. Have a good time, Jimmy. Say hi to the family for us, Danica, little Jimmy Jr., and Danica Jr., okay?
Oh, yeah, I'll see you, boys. Gotta go. You know, Danica is in the kitchen making her pile driver chili for the reunion. And they all love her chili con carnage. I'll see you, boys. What a crowd, I tell you. What a crowd. I love you guys.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I gotta tell you, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy breaks me up.
He breaks me up, too.
It's always a treat whenever he comes on the show, and he'll be back with us again before too long.
Absolutely. Right now, we're going to go and we're going to be treated to an interview with two of the greatest musicians in Canada. They host a band called the Western Swing Authority.
Swing that thing with all you got. The boys all go insane. All you won't hear them complain.
And I know we don't hear an awful lot about swing music on country radio these days and whatever, but if you ever get an opportunity to see the Western Swing Authority, if they come to your area, then get out and see them because they are phenomenal. And it's a pleasure for us to have Shane and Stacey Lee Guse on the air with us today.
Welcome aboard.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having
so
us.
much.
I've seen you guys perform across Ontario here, and every time it just amazes me. Whether you're backing bands for the CMAO or you're yourself in concert, and so tell us a little bit about the Western Swing Authority, so people who are viewing today might have a little history on you.
All right. Well,
we're a 7-piece Western swing band, that we can tell you, and we've been together for almost 12 years. We're coming up on our 12-year anniversary at the beginning of April. And yeah, we play Western swing music. I'm going to let you talk about how we began.
We started this band because we love this kind of music, and we weren't getting a lot of opportunity to play it. And so it seemed like the only way we were going to get that opportunity was to create it. So we did. We put this band together. And you know, Western swing, if you don't know what Western swing music is, it's sort of a hybrid of different styles of music. So you've got sort of old school country and country blues, but then it's infused with swing, jazz, and actually even a little bit of mariachi is in there too. Yeah. And you go back, and that's where the twin fiddles and all that stuff comes from. But I think more of the blues, swing, and jazz and country combination are what makes it really unique. And I think it's pretty accessible for a lot of people if they get to hear it and they know what it is.
So you've got a little bit of everything going in there, obviously. Now, some of your early influences, can you tell us about that? Like, was there a Bob Wills?
I'll let you can.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, as far as when Western swing music goes, obviously guys like Bob Wills, Milton Brown, Spade Cooley. I mean, these were the pioneers of this music and the ones that were playing it in the heyday of Western swing. For me, my first introduction to a Western swing song was actually from Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard
really?
was a huge He's a huge Bob Wills fan, and he did a couple albums. One in particular that was all Bob Wills music. It was a tribute album to Bob Wills. I think it was called "A Tribute to the Best Damn Fiddle Player in the World."
It's so good.
And so I heard a couple of tracks off of that, and that's what sort of turned me onto that music, because I was like, wow, I love this, but it's not Merle's music. It's coming from somewhere else. And so I started digging back, and that's where I found Bob Wills and Texas Playboys, and but then I also found Asleep at the Wheel, and then that sort of just blew my mind at the time. I was like, wow, this is like all the cool factors of this swing music, but these are new recordings, and they are like a freight train coming right at you, and there's 2 fiddles or more, and it's like it was just
horns and
hopping and horns and
everything.
And it was just sort of like that was it for me. I was hooked, and always wanted to play in a band like this. But like I said, there's never any opportunities. And then a friend of mine dropped off a DVD of the Time Jumpers, well, I guess 12 years ago now, and showed it to me. And that was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. And I was like, oh, well, you know what? If all these guys that are session players and touring musicians, and they can get together and they can play this music every Monday night, then, we should be able to do that too.
Well,
And then we did.
Yeah, then you did. Well, a couple of things. Number one, Asleep at the Wheel actually broke into country radio back in the 90s, and they actually charted, had some great videos as well, because on my old video show, Top 10 Country, we featured Asleep at the Wheel. And, they've been at Havelock, and they've been, at some of the great country concerts here in Canada. But you're right.
So
but
great.
That type of music, and the Monday night you're referring to, it takes place in Nashville every Monday night at this little venue that you have to line up for hours to get into because it's so popular. But the type of you guys enjoy it because it's musicians enjoying musicians playing the music that you love, and we can take that back, Stacey, to in the 30s, the 1930s, and so when Western swing was huge.
That's it. I think everybody, in our band especially, we've played together so long, not only in this band, but with other bands as well. We know each other really well. So there's a great trust on stage to every once in a while you get caught looking and everybody's playing so well that, somebody gets to the end of the solo and you forget it's your turn. So sometimes that happens, but I think what ends up happening, throughout the show is that there's just this really comfortable and everybody's pushing the envelope a little bit, but stepping back when it's not their turn. And there's a great respect, I think, on stage. And that's kind of the most comfortable, beautiful place to create music.
Well, you guys have been nominated for so many awards. I mean, the list goes on and on right back to, I believe it's 2013 or so. But Shane, this
crazy.
guy, he is the top fiddle player in Canada. He's won so many times they don't even they should name the award after him because he won. No kidding,
Well,
he won it so many times he's not even qualified to be nominated anymore. No, is that true?
Well, we'll send around the petition. We'll see if they'll do that for us. But
yeah. But and then Stacey, I'm sorry, but I just have to say this, Stacey. We talk about Western swing, but I've never heard anybody sing a Patsy Cline ballad or a ballad of in country music like you do. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
And so, if people want to see you, where do they go to check you out?
Well, if they want to find us online, they can go to the westernswingauthority.com. They can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then there's, of course, all the streaming sites and iTunes and all those types of things.
If you want to see some live stuff or video things, you can also check out YouTube and subscribe to the channel there.
Yeah.
Because
as soon as we can, we're going to be back out there playing shows. As soon as things open up enough to allow us to do that,
that's it. And in the meantime, we do actually have a live performance DVD coming out sometime in the next couple of months. Hopefully it's going to coincide with the 12-year anniversary. But if we're a little bit late, then forgive us. There's been a pandemic going on. It's been a little hard to get together.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, until we get a chance to get out there live, you'll be able to watch the band do our thing.
Well, thank goodness we're seeing a little bit of light at the end of this dark, dark tunnel now. And hopefully, we'll
It's a
keep
real
our
long
fingers
tunnel.
crossed. Hopefully, we can get out of this darn pandemic and things will somehow get back to some sort of normalcy. So
I'd love to see that.
yeah, and you
See
can
that.
get back on the road and do your thing out there live.
Well, you have a great video that's on now, a live video. You did it. It looks like on a back deck or something. It's 55 minutes long. I know because I've watched it. And of course, as you well know, my wife is not only that, you're also biggest fan ever. And so we cranked it at the cottage here last summer and watched it all. So
How fun.
thank you for being with us, guys. And let's make a promise that we get the Western Swing Authority here in Kingston for a live performance real soon.
We are
would love
so there as soon as we can find a time and everybody gets a shot in the arm.
that. We're there. You bet.
Thank you, guys. Shane, Stacey Lee, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank
you so much.
So great to talk to you.
Well, there you have it. Shane and Stacey Lee from the Western Swing Authority. We thank them for being on the program with us today.
Yeah, sort of a unique style of music. And of course, they're very, very popular and like Asleep at the Wheel. And we mentioned it during their interview that one of their early influences, Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys or Cowboys.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great.
So there you go. Thank you very much, Western Swing Authority. It was a pleasure to have you on with Big G and Matty today.
Hey, you know what? It's that time of year, Matty, and I know how much you love to barbecue.
Oh,
You're out the back there on the porch barbecuing all the time. We barbecue an awful lot at the lake when we're out at Rito Acres each and every summer.
my only problem is
Yeah, what's that?
I burn everything.
You do?
Kids complain all the time. Say,
Really?
Dad, you barbecue, you don't go by the timer, you go by the brewskis. So, okay, well, that burger will be done in another beer, right? or that'll be done one more and that'll be done.
Why doesn't that surprise me, folks? Why doesn't that surprise me? But listen, we've got a story. You talk about a weird and wacky story. Tell us about it, Matty.
Well, we had it on our show a few years back, but certainly a memorable story, something that hopefully will never happen to you. If we've all go to yard sales.
Yeah.
And, well, the guy goes to a yard sale and he buys this barbecue. And
Yeah.
of course, or actually a smoker.
A smoker, yeah.
And smokers, they're hot right now.
Exactly.
Pardon the pun.
They even get hotter.
But they're very, very popular. So this guy goes in, he thought he was getting a deal on this smoker, and well, let the story speak for itself.
Yeah, this is Burl Ed and the story of the smoker with a little bit of flesh.
On the phones, the guy who bought the smoker at the auction. Please welcome to the show, Burl Ed Brisket Man. Burl Ed, what'd you think when you opened up that smoker and you saw a human leg in it?
Well, first I thought it was a joke. I thought someone was just being a little jerky, pulling my leg, but little did I know how right I was.
Okay. And when you realized it wasn't a joke, Burl?
Well, I said to myself, Burl Ed, you barbecued many a calf in your time, but this is ridiculous.
Were you a little upset, maybe?
Oh, heck yeah, I can't use the smoker to cook food now, and the thing cost me an arm and a... Well, you know.
Are you going to sue Burl Ed?
No, I already got my pound of flesh. Actually, 4 pounds.
Most people would be filing lawsuits right and left.
On second thought, I just might sue. After all, it's not like I don't have a leg to stand on. Thanks there, Big G and Matthews. I'll see y'all in court.
Okay.
Well, I think I'll pass on the barbecue tonight.
I think I've just lost my appetite.
Well, there you go. The story of Burl Ed, the brisket man.
Yeah, good kind of
I
brisket.
love my brisket, but
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out on this one.
Well, that wraps it up for another edition of Big G and Matty. Thank you for being along with us. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and also follow us on podcast. We really appreciate it. Up on the screen, you'll see how to do that. It's very simple. Or if you want to, you can tell your friends to go to YouTube search and go to Big Space G Space Country. And you'll see Big G and Matty pop up on the screen.
Well, there you go, my friend. Thanks again for being with us today. And, I just thought of this, Big G.
Yeah.
Maybe if you'd like us to talk about something or you'd want us to do something on our show that you might find interesting or your friends might find interesting, let us know in the comments section, okay? Simple as that.
Or you can email us.
Simple.
You can email me at biggcountry.ca.
And you can email me at muskymatt@gmail.com. Simple as that. Coming up on our next show, a Canadian icon. He's going to join us and tell us all about his new book, and we go way, way back with this guy.
Wow.
Especially you, Big G. You've got some stories with Larry Mercy.
Yeah, I sure do.
And he even mentioned you in his book.
How about that?
Yeah. So we'll look forward to that and, of course, play some Mercy music for you next time with Big G and Matty. Thanks for joining us.
Big G and Matty on Big G Country.